Welcome to MPR, Multi-Planar Radio. I'm your host, Brian Cosmos. This is All Planes Considered. Interdimensional travel from multiple planes into one in particular has been advised against by many magical authorities after an outbreak of omnidimensional beings known as the Eldrazi had begun to swarm into existence on a plane known as Zendikar. Zendikar, once known for its lush vegetation and wild animal life, is now being consumed by a vicious horde and turned to waste. One local resident had this reaction.
Yeah. So there I was, right? Just minding my own business at the Seagate, and bam, out of nowhere, these giant tentacles whipped around, just took my fishing boat to the bottomless depths. It also smashed through that Seagate and killed a bunch of people, but I ain't gonna get that boat back there neither.
Other sources on the scene had a differing view.
Yes, the carnage was quite delightful. There was blood, blood everywhere. I can still fondly hear the screams. What is your blood type? You smell delightful.
Authorities do not know when or if the outbreak will be contained. This is MPR. You're listening to MPR. Whether you're on a plane full of pixies and sprites or one full of ruin and suffering, you've experienced a bit of bad weather. Today on our Winds of Either segment, we have a guest with us that will help you stay dry on a water world. Gus Van Trent is an expert in such machinations. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian.
So you do a bit of traveling then?
Yeah, and when our planar walk can tend to find themselves in all sorts of weather-related conditions and needs. Did I just drop out into the middle of a fire blast or a tidal wave? Or maybe something more devastating, like a hydroblast or a flusterstorm. All of these can ruin your day and some your entire week.
So what does one do when faced with this situation?
Preparation. Preordaining your lot in life can help, but what really comes through in a pinch is having the flash of insight to weather any situation.
A bit of weather humor there.
Well, the right attitude helps too. For instance, I was pressing through the very edge of reality into another plane when I smelt a hefty dose of seawater. And as I breached through to reality, I found myself falling into a vast ocean. I was gonna go for a swim unwittingly. Of course, I have my pack, books, and some loose treasure I can't get soaked.
What did you do?
I had some of my drying spells already cobbled together already, that preparation, so I spell wove those into my clothing and I was a steam vent my entire stay on that planet. Dry and comfortable the entire time. A bit on the heated side, but that was to be expected.
Thank you so much for sharing. If you want to hear more of Gus's travels, be sure to pick up his book, Gus Van Trent, A Planeswalk to Remember. You're listening to Brian Cosmos with the Community Calendar. Dates are presented in standard Sol System denominations. This weekend, don't miss a grand battle of mages on the subplane of Houston. Mages will battle their way with standard regulation spells to become the grand champion of the subplane of Houston. This title lasts for one standard Sol year. The weekend also features tournaments of smaller yet respectable proportions that will determine whom shall go inspect the plane of Innistrad, as it has some fairly odd shadows over the angel-protected plane. These tournaments use standard regulation spells. The following weekend, near the start of the third cycle of Sol, will feature yet another grand battle, this time on the subplane of Detroit. Spells regulated to the modern mage referendums will be allowed. This title also lasts one standard soul year. A bake sale is being held the rest of this soul cycle by the priests and abbots of Carroll Keep. These hot delectables are guaranteed to keep your fires burning. Merfolk on the plane of Theros are holding their 14th annual Trident Cup swim race next cycle. Proceeds of this cup will go directly to a fund to replace their god's trident. And this was your NPR Community Calendar. Thank you for listening to All Planes Considered on Multiplanar Radio. I was your host, Brian Cosmos. Now to Terry Verbos for the night show. You're listening to Terry...
Precious.